Who is excited? I hope everyone has everything ready. I know I do. All right, so welcome to the pregame, you guys. I need to hear a bit of hoo-ha, hoo-ha, hoo-ha. I'm going to quickly show you a couple of steps of what I'm doing tonight, and then I'm going to highlight our incredible guest this evening, and then we are going to get right into it. So I cannot wait. Get those gummies in your mouths. Let's, and if you're not comfortable yet, you can wait to the end of the show, but let's get ready to have a great time. Hoo-ha, woo-woo. Okay, so, you might have one of these in your hands right now. And if you don't, you might be looking for them after tonight. So all you do with this is you buy it. That's all you do at Queen of Bud, preferably, but I'm sure they're around everywhere. The next step, you just open it, you guys. You open it, you look inside, you take a sniff, and then you're going to see this beautiful, wonderful little thing. And they come in all shapes and sizes. Some are chocolate, some are pills, some are gummies, some are other things. And then you eat it or ingest it or consume it and you cherish it. So I'm very excited. We're going to learn a lot tonight. This is an incredible thing, like an incredible amount of knowledge that we're going to have for, pain and sleep and sex and fun. And it's just going to be incredible. So I can't wait. But now let's highlight our incredible host, Ashley. Check this beauty out. She is incredible, and you guys are going to just love every single second tonight. Okay, I'm going to go on mute, and I'm just going to start painting. Love you. Hoo-ha! I do. Okay. Can everyone hear me? Yeah, I think so. Okay, so I hope you guys love the illustration. The program is here, as you guys saw my instructions. So I'm going to join you right now. We're going to learn a lot tonight and have a lot of fun. I love you. Can I get a hoo-ha? Let's have fun.
Right into the song.
Every camp has a theme song that requires you sing along. The more we keep on drinking, the better we'll start singing. If you like to drink, wanna learn to fix your sink,
Seems like a functional thing.
wanna earn some badges and unite with other badges. Let's make a place that we belong and sing the campfire hoo-ha song. We're gonna camp hoo-ha, 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 yeah! Gonna camp hoo-ha, 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 yeah! Gonna camp hoo-ha, 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 yeah! Gonna camp hoo-ha, 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 you are! You want the fun that camp brings,
I do.
but you really fucking hate camping.
I do.
Can make a craft or have a beer.
Craft beer.
You'll learn some useful shit here. That's what I hear anyway. Let's make a place that we belong and join the campfire hoo-ha song. We're gonna camp hoo-ha, 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 yeah! Gonna camp hoo-ha, 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 yeah! Gonna camp hoo-ha, me, hoo-ha, hoo-ha! Gonna camp hoo-ha, 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 hoo-ha.
That's 2 minutes. You were right. That's funny.
Hello, campers. Welcome back to Camp Hoo-Ha. Welcome back to you regular campers. And we have a lot of newbies. Funny the newbies show up when it's weed camp. I don't know how that happens, but welcome to any of you first-time campers joining us to a highly anticipated cannabis camp. I don't know why it's taken me so damn long to put this on the table. We're in like month 12 of a pandemic, and we're finally just getting to this really important topic, but better late than never. In fact, we needed this like in November, but I felt like you guys needed tacos more for some reason. So anyways, Cannabis Camp is here. We have the perfect speaker. We have a great presentation for you guys with all the other hoo-ha fun. Our regular team is here. So I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about the camp story for you newbies. My name is Mel McKay, and I am your high hoo-ha. I am your higher hoo-ha tonight. Not quite yet, but later on this evening. And I am the founder of this thing. And we didn't start camp as an online event. We typically do events in person. We started in 2017 in Calgary, having monthly events where we get together, a bunch of amazing women. We show up in hoodies, we sit on benches, we eat tacos and drink cheap wine off our lap. And we have a rad camp counselor that teaches us some badass skill. We make new friends, we earn new badges, and we normally love to come together and obviously experience this face-to-face and in person, which we can't do right now. So anyways, we started in 2017. We quickly expanded. We are in 12 other cities right now and hopefully growing. So last March, we flipped to an online model so we could keep the camp spirit alive, keep entertaining, keep campers together, keep earning badges, and just have a place to just laugh and have fun throughout the fucking madness. So I am glad you guys are here. I wanted to quickly talk a bit about weed and my experiences. Everybody will have their own experiences to draw on, but I feel like there was like sort of 3 weed phases in my life. Are these guys muted, or are you guys, Mandy, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I love when I can hear my team chattering. So I feel like for me, there was like kind of 3 phases in my life. Phase 1 was high school, which was the worst weed phase ever, because you spend all your time just trying to get the weed, right? And then soon, like, one of your friends has to like date the high school weed dealer just so you can get the crappy weed. And then you end up like sitting in a field somewhere, you know, smoking what you think is weed. You're not even sure at that point if it's weed or not. And it's not a great experience because you have to do all this crazy stuff just to get it. And then you're sitting there and just freaking out about getting caught when you get home. So for me, the first experience was the weed one. And the funny thing is, you always had to have a friend that was going to be able to date the weed dealer at high school. You also had to have a friend that was going to date the manager from Radio Shack so you could get your like car hookups. And possibly a friend that would date the guy that's maybe failed a few grades at school and looks older so he could get your booze. We always had to have friends that would take one for the team to make shit happen for us. So that was phase 1. Phase 2 was always like university. University was usually a time where you went crazy with the cannabis or the weed for like 4 months straight. That's all you really did, was just play with it, enjoy it. Find yourself. And I had 4 months in BC in 1997 where I just really immersed myself in weed and came out of it deciding that I was going to major in sociology. That was phase 2. Phase 3 brings me to Camp Hoo-Ha. I had like no weed or cannabis experience from like 1997, pretty much like 2017. Get me to summer camp, and all of a sudden I'm back in the saddle again. So it's one of those things where it's weaved its way in and out of our life at certain times. And now is an especially exciting time for us because it's legal. For one thing, there's all these new and exciting ways that we can get exposed to it, try it. And we're also at a point in our life where we just don't give a fuck anymore. So there's no concern about what people are going to think about you. We're all looking for ways to like treat, whether it's physical stuff or sleep or whatever. So it's become this thing that, and Ashley is going to talk about this, that we've embraced and can bring into our own life for a million reasons that makes us feel better, or at least we're going to say it makes us feel better. So that's what that's what we're here for today. And we've got an amazing camp counselor who I'm going to bring up with the team in a couple of minutes. Queen of Bud, Ashley, is brilliant. And I love when I'm on the hunt for a camp counselor because it always turns out that there's an amazing story behind them. So even though she is this, you know, amazing educated cannabis expert, she's just a badass entrepreneur with a really great story about how she got to where she got to, which wasn't easy. So I am especially excited to hear the layers to her own journey and story as well. So we've got Ashley from Queen of Bud, and she's going to tell you more about her story and about the Queen of Bud business as well. And also, this is just a little slice. This is not going to tell you everything there is you need to know about cannabis. So if there's other things you want to know, you can continue your journey outside here. You can always connect with Queen of Bud or talk to somebody in your own center. So this is just going to give you a tiny little bite. And then there's lots to learn from here. We're always trying to sort of make sure everybody gets a little something. So I want to just touch on a few pieces of housekeeping before I bring everybody up and hand it over to Carla. I want to talk about merch. We have these amazing Hoo-Ha track jackets now in the store. I am calling this part of my underperformance line. Everybody is always hot for performance wear. Well, this is our underperformance line. It even says Team Hoo-Ha on the back. So J9 and Carla have got their own track jackets on tonight. So you're going to see more of this retro stuff coming out. We're going to have some socks and some other pieces as well to help you with your underperforming endeavors, whatever they may be. So yeah, hit up the merch store, pick up your badge after camp if you get a chance. If you're not into collecting the badges, you can donate $5 to camp in the store as well. We also have some prizes available. Queen of Bud has a $150 gift certificate. All you have to do is tag Queen of Bud and Camp Hoo Ha, or like us on Facebook or Instagram. Post a picture of yourself or your camp setup or your whatever you're doing. We want to see you guys and see what you have to share tonight. So tag us on either social or on Facebook or Instagram, and like both Queen of Bud and Camp Hoo Ha. And I'm going to talk about your next event at the end of camp. So I want to bring the team up and just give everybody the lay of the land, and then pass us over to Miss Carla soon. Have we got the whole team up, Rob? Yeah? Okay, sorry.
I hear.
One more? Awesome. So I'm going to introduce everybody, pass it over to Carla in a couple minutes. So like I said, I am Mel McKay, your Hi Hoo Ha. We have the brilliant Mandy Stobo, who did our opening art. She is our superstar paint night and arts and crafts camp counselor. We love everything Stobo brings to the camp experience. Thank you, Mandy. We have Miss Carla Watts, who is typically our booze counselor. Miss Carla is doing non-boozy booze tonight, which I don't know if she's super excited about it. But tonight we wanted to focus on cannabis and take a little bit of a break from our wine, which she'll be back into at our next event. So that's Miss Carla. She's going to do a little bit of a intro to some a cannabis cocktail and some non-alcoholic cocktails in a minute. The J9, our camp singer, is back with a original cannabis-themed camp song, and she's also going to sing one she's only sang at our last live event last year, so that's the J9. We have Rob, who's our producer. You can't see Rob right now, he's behind the scenes, but Rob and Amy are our amazing technical team that put everything together so that everything flows smoothly, and those opening credits and all that stuff is Rob and Amy. So thank you, Rob and Amy. And then we have Ashley Newman, who is the Queen of Bud herself. So she's taking the stage in about 7 or 8 minutes and delivering all of the cannabis goods we've been waiting for. So this is Team Hoo Ha. Over to Carla for some non-boozy booze notes.
Hoo Ha! Welcome, campers. I am your booze counselor. Tonight, I am your booze-free counselor, taste tester extraordinaire. And I'm going to tell you, just to start off, I really, really tried. I tried. And, I did find some silver linings. And I think that this one kind of was a good fit with cannabis. If we're going to get into some of those high-level THCs, you girls, some of you are seasoned, really seasoned, very impressive. And I thought that this would maybe be a better fit with some booze-free cocktails. It seems to be a lot of statistics coming out these days on the alcohol consumption and COVID. And, we get a little tired of those breathers that we have that are bubbly water, or we've got our lime and sodas. And so I did the taste test tonight on a few lines. And, I really tried hard to find a cannabis infused beer. I did see some of you guys say, it's out there, but I asked, I went to a few places. The word on the street is it's terrible. It just tastes terrible. So nobody's bringing it in. Nobody's doing anything with it. So I don't know, just have some cannabis in a non-alcoholic beer. I think, I don't know, it makes sense to me. So anyways, what we were trying tonight, what I was trying tonight was the Sexy AF line. If you guys have heard of this Sexy AF, and you can imagine, it's sexy as fuck. The marketing on it is beautiful. It comes in these really nice bottles. Packaging is great, and it's a play on every single kind of booze that you might like. So here's some Frisky Whiskey. There's also some triple sexy, which is, a play on your triple sec. So basically, we're talking, these are 100% alcohol free. They're plant-based, they're low calorie, they are botanically infused spirits. So my only issue was that spirit, it just means alcohol to me. So I'm not sure why they get to call it a spirit. I'm still confused. It's like distilled water with botanicals, with some of those spices and herbs that you like. They do play on the monoterpenes. I know Ashley will be impressed because I'm on my terpenes. I'm understanding. And those are your aromatic compounds and things that are giving some flavors. So they're vegan, they're kosher, they're gluten-free, they're sugar-free, they're low cal. And to me, that sometimes just means no fun in life in general. But what I did find interesting is a lot of them have some preservatives in them, but they have a vegetable glycerin, which gives them that liqueur, thick, a little bit syrupy taste for you. So, if you do need a breather and you're tired of your lime and sodas, and maybe you're just having your great stone or high, this is a really great way to coat. It's just got that coating on your mouth. It's kind of refreshing, and it feels, I think it's going to work. I think it will actually fool you. And what happens is if you can get it shaken up in a cocktail like you would, these mocktails are quite sexy. They can look absolutely beautiful with your garnishes on them. And I think that they will fool you. So one thing that was really nice with the Sexy AF line, and Jo, and her team have done a really excellent job at providing us with these samples. And they have offered Camp Hoo Ha a 15% discount. If you want to go online, try any of their products, they're giving you a Camp Hoo Ha discount, and it does not expire. So give them a shot. If you are going the sober route, if you're sober curious, if you are on a breather route, if you are, we're trying to watch the health and the relationship that we have with alcohol and our wine consumption, maybe this is something that you can have on the side. So I'd give it a go. The other two that I did find out that I think you guys might recognize is the Seedlip. This is a UK-based product. I picked the real spicy one. They're supposed to kind of be replacements for gin. Just put it in with tonic. Yeah, give it a go. This one, another one, Lumet. This is a Canadian one out of Soup, BC. I couldn't really get past the smell of that one. So I'd really have to doctor that one up, or I'd really have to go super high on the THC. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, give them a go, you guys. And I am your booze counselor, and I will be back with booze before you know it. And I am really excited for you guys to try these with your cannabis. And Ashley's awesome. I think you're going to be very impressed, and I can't wait to hear the rest of her story. But first, you get to learn a brand new song from the J9. And I don't even know if it's called Cannabis, because she was only halfway through it when you were getting there. And I believe she's doing another one tonight. So cheers, you guys, whatever you have in hand, whatever you can see. Cheers to cannabis and learning. And I have a lot to learn. Love you guys. Over to the J9.
Hi, it's me. I'm ready. I'm totally prepared as usual. Okay, so my 12-year-old daughter is going to be helping me out controlling my iPad with my lyrics on it. So I'm just going to let you guys know that I've never dabbled in the cannabis arts. I was never in the upper parking lot of Bishop Grandin listening to Snoop Dogg in a car with smoke pouring out of the windows, ever. So anyway, okay, this song that I wrote today
is a little bit different. It's a love song. I had a hard time with this because I had a lot of different ideas, but I've been like really, really busy lately, and that's not just an excuse. You can ask Jana how busy she's keeping me. Anyway, this is a love song, so it's a bit different from what you're used to. And by the end of it, you guys will know the chorus because I think it's a little bit catchy. So sing along with me. It's called Mary Jane. Mary Jane, where have you been? All of my life I've been looking for someone to make me feel the way you do. I can't sleep without you near me. Laugh mad when you are with me. You take away my pain like magic too. I tried Jack, but he wasn't all that. His brother Jim Beam, well, he's a has-been. Yeah, those boys don't make me feel the way you do. Mary Jane, where have you been? All of my life I've been looking for someone who makes me feel the way you do. I can't sleep without you near me. Laugh mad when you are with me. I take away my pain like magic too. I thought Tito would be neato, but it wasn't happening. So I tried the captain, but those boys don't calm my nerves the way you do. Mary Jane, where have you been? All of my life I've been looking for someone who makes me feel the way you do. I can't sleep without you near me. Laugh mad when you are with me. You take away my pain like magic too. I had sex on the beach with Jose Cuervo. I'm not proud, he's a weirdo. Under a Belgian moon around a fire, I met Rose, she's Canadian, eh? And I slid up beside her, but none of them fulfill my needs the way you do. Mary Jane, where have you been? All of my life I've been looking for someone who makes me feel the way you do. I can't sleep without you near me. Laugh mad when you are with me. You take away my pain like magic too. You're my best bud, no matter what. When life gets gummy, you keep it funny. And when I'm a squeaky wheel, I get the oil. Mary Jane, where have you been? All of my life I've been looking for someone who makes me feel the way you do. I can't sleep without you near me. Laugh mad when you are with me. You take away my pain like magic too. Yeah, my troubles go up in smoke when I'm with you. Yay, I'll pretend I hear clapping and screaming and the crowd went wild. Oh my God, thank you. I'm here all week. Just kidding, I'm not. I'm here for another 5 minutes. Next song, please. Sorry, my helper was busy looking at her phone. Okay, so this other song I'm gonna do, I think I've only sung it once, and then I sang it once on the podcast. I wrote this one for Tattoo Camp, and it's one of my favorites, and I never sing it, so I'm gonna do it tonight. I don't know, I guess just kind of like, you know, tattoos, cannabis, all those things our parents don't want us to do, so that's what we're gonna sing about. Eyes on this thing. Okay. It's been a while. Done a lot of crazy things through the years. Some bring me joy, some bring me tears. But in the end, I know I'll be sad because I got no regrets. So I went to the tattoo parlor to get that permanently inked across my chest. How was I to know? But how was I to know? How was I to tell my tattoo artist could not spell? No REGERTS, permanently inked across my chest. Should have spelled regrets, but I'm not her because I got no regrets. Yeah, I got no regrets. No REGERTS, permanently inked across my chest. I got no regrets. I went to Barbados with my best friend Jane. We got a little crazy, got a little bit insane. We drank so much rum, we were rum-dum-dum. Got matching butterflies upon our bums. Also on those cheeks we inked that we were BFF, so we were always linked. Then she got, sorry, my daughter's here, but then she got mad because I fucked her brother. Now we don't speak to each other. We don't speak to each other. No REGERTS, permanently inked across my chest. I got no regrets. I went to a concert when I was 19, saw the cutest guy I ever done seen. We hooked up, we got a little naughty, and we did it doggy style in a porta potty. We got drunk, we got a tap, woke up hungover, and that was that. Never saw him again, but I'll never forget, cause I got a porta potty on my left hip. Yeah, I got a porta potty on my left hip. And a 22-year-old son named John. No REGERTS, permanently inked across my chest. I got no regrets. Donald Duck wears a shirt but no pants. That's a thought I had when just by chance I was walking by a grungy tattoo shop. I just knew I had to stop. I could not believe my luck. I got a tattoo on my belly of Donald Duck. He's turned around and something else you should know. My belly button is his asshole. Yeah, my belly button is his asshole. No REGERTS, permanently inked across my chest. I got no regrets. No REGERTS, permanently inked across my chest. I got no regrets. Yeah, I got no regrets. I have to say, so I can see everybody and I can see Rob. And that one line that we threw in at the last minute there, I got a 22-year-old son named John. I always wonder if people are going to pick up on the fact it's like porta potty toilet John. And Rob bent over laughing, so I know he got it. I hope the rest of you guys did too. Anyway, that's it for me. Thanks.
Awesome. I'm going to just quickly thank Jana and Carla. That was awesome. Thanks for leading the team in. And we're going to bring Ashley up, and we are going to probably go over a little bit tonight. So if you guys can stay up till, I guess, 9:30 Alberta time, 11:30 Eastern time. We're going to run probably 15 minutes late tonight because we don't want to rush through anything. We have a lot of important stuff to get through. So please bring up Miss Ashley Newman, the Queen of Bud. We're thrilled to have you at camp, Ashley. So the hoo-ha stage is now yours.
Oh, well, thank you so much for having me on. Thank you, campers, for joining us. So I'm going to dive into kind of my story first, and then I have a little bit of a presentation for you guys that's not too formal, but just talking points where I can answer some of the questions that I saw you guys asking on Facebook. So I opened the third store in Calgary. Queen of Bud was one of the first. It was a very difficult process to get open. In February of 2018, I kind of heard that the legalization was going to be happening and that the AGLC in Alberta was going to be accepting applications for dispensaries. And it was kind of funny because I'll kind of explain as I go the spiritual side of things, but I made this list of everything I love doing and that I'm super passionate about. So design, product development, and cannabis. It was funny on my list. It was, I need a job where I can smoke weed all day and not get in trouble for it. So the dispensary seemed like a good fit for me. And so I couldn't afford lawyers or consultants at the time. So I had to really figure out how to do this on my own. So I applied for 3 different locations and all of them got approved. But I only ended up opening the 10th Avenue store, and I'll kind of explain why. But I wanted to try that one out first. And it was very difficult to get an investor. No one wanted to invest in me. They felt that my brand was very feminine and that it was a male dominated industry and women were not going to be a main client of theirs. And it's funny, today I was speaking at the DX3, and the stats have completely changed, where women actually purchase more than men in higher amounts per purchase. So it's funny to see how that kind of changed. But I ended up finding an investor, and we applied for everything. And then a week before due diligence was closing with the AGLC, he had to back out and he couldn't supply the money. So I had a week to kind of figure it out. And I talked to the AGLC, and they said, listen, Ashley, like, if you can't find an investor by Friday, like, that, we can't help you. There's so many other people that have applied, and we need to focus on and be fair to everyone. And so I kind of laid there for a second and felt sorry for myself. And then it was kind of weird. A video popped up of Richard Branson, and he had to come up with $50 million over the weekend in order to save Virgin Mobile. And so I thought, if this guy could come up with $50 million over the weekend, I can come up with the amount that I need for one dispensary. And so I just started calling everyone I knew, and I ended up finding someone to invest in the first Calgary store. And I knew that my true passion lied with on the growing side, and actually having my own cannabis on the market. But there were steps that needed to be taken before I could get there. And part of that was opening a dispensary that had a great brand or a great experience that would then attract a bigger investor. And that's what happened. And so a lot of the larger companies tried to buy me out. They offered me insane amounts because I was kind of the only feminine brand at the time. So they wanted to use my brand to repackage their cannabis up as kind of a female focused brand in order to hit a different demographic. And so I decided, I traveled around to a variety of different facilities. I looked at the product, and I decided not to take any of their offers and to kind of take the harder route that was going to take a lot longer. Anyone would have taken that deal, and no one else would have waited another 2 years to have their cannabis on the market when they had an offer from one of the largest. But I was crazy enough to think I could do it. And then we did. So we have a 100,000 square foot grow facility, all canopy, 100,000 square feet of canopy. It has a pip rack vertical grow system, which means that we grow on 3 different tiers. So it's 30-foot ceilings. There's 10 feet in between each tier. And what's unique about the pip rack system is, if you guys are familiar with the legal cannabis industry, the quality was really lacking for the first, well, at times it's still lacking, to be honest, but it's because they're trying to grow in such large spaces, and the cannabis isn't getting the attention it needs. Plants do really well with human contact, and they need that emotion and your energy. But on top of that, not every single plant is going to be the same. So we have individual feeding tubes into each plant where we can control the nutrients per tier, which is kind of cool. And then through that, I was a founder of the Alberta Cannabis Council, which is one of the largest cannabis councils in Canada that lobbies the government for cannabis. And so I was vice chair of that for 2 years, and I decided to step down because we put some other independent retailers and LPs up on the board so they could kind of take over everything. But through that, I got to meet almost every single cannabis company and independent retailer in Alberta, and I helped every single one that has ever asked me for their help. And if LPs needed to push more product, I would never ask for anything. It was, sure, whatever you need. And now all of those LPs we've partnered with, and they bring a lot, we co-package for some of them. We grow for some of them. And I love that strategy versus having 20 different brands that hit 20 different demographics. But all of those brands are very expensive, and it's risky because you don't know which ones are actually going to succeed or not. And it's so hard in cannabis to make one brand, let alone 20. So what we're doing is we're collaborating with our, I guess you could call them our competitors, and they allow us to bring in revenue to then put back into Queen of Bud, and we have our own products on the market. So opened Calgary, got the facility going. We just opened our Toronto store last month, so that's been very exciting. Each of our stores are named or themed around a crystal that I could emotionally relate to at the time of building it. So Calgary is our white jade store, so it's very white and bright and light, and it's kind of where I began to find myself and my light and my soul and my true passion and kind of feel fulfilled. And then Toronto, around the time when I designed, and I build out each store, I build the flower walls, I go there. And so I custom draw all of the furniture pieces. In Toronto, we have this beautiful circular bench with like a tree coming out with crystals and flowers. So I draw all that out, and then I get someone to kind of make it. So I'm super passionate about it. I love it. But Toronto is our Black Obsidian store. And it was, during that time, I had to face a lot of my fears. People said, Ashley, you're never going to have your own Queen of Bud cannabis out on the market. You're a retailer. No one's ever done that. So I was one of the first to come up with a way of how do I make that work? And Health Canada and the AGLC were absolutely amazing during that process. I think I sent them about 50 emails, and they told me exactly how I'm breaking the rules and I can't do it, but those emails allowed me to kind of come up with a way that is compliant to find a way to do it. And we did. And so we launched our Queen of Bud cannabis in December of 2020. Our first strain that we launched, again, it's themed with a crystal. I'm very big on energy and how the plants feel. And so Health Canada told me that I can't make claims about how a strain makes you feel. It's against the rules. But what you can do is you can pair that particular strain with a crystal. And when you Google the crystal, then you can see how that strain is going to make you feel. I got into cannabis because I have endometriosis, and I suffered. I've had a hysterectomy now, and it still didn't fully take the pain away because the endometriosis spread. And so I was supposed to go for another surgery. And I decided not to, and to try and get a prescription for cannabis. My doctor wouldn't give me a prescription for cannabis, but she would for Oxycontin, which is kind of strange. But I ended up going to a different doctor who finally gave me my medical card. And then I started experimenting more and more with cannabis. And what I noticed is, yes, it completely helped with my inflammation and my endometriosis. So pain-wise, my body, my health, my skin, I felt a million times better physically. But what really made me fall in love with cannabis is that it changed who I am completely on a spiritual level, and just allowed me to put aside the character that I had been playing that's made up of other people's opinions or my fears, and just really find out who I am and what I want to create while I am getting to experience being alive. I think that when we come into this life, we have a great opportunity to create amazing things and live our passions and make this world a better place for the next time that we come, so we can kind of make it a better experience the next time. And so that's why I kind of attach crystals and energy, and I really want to change the way that people perceive themselves and the way that they perceive life, so that they can kind of enjoy it more. We are programmed to value things that don't actually contribute to our happiness, and to conform to a society that suppresses what makes us unique, and what makes you unique is usually where your purpose lies. So what else? Oh, and I guess I did all of this as a single mom. I ended up getting divorced when I was 24. I had my little girls when I was 21 and 22. So I think that was another reason I became an entrepreneur, was because I couldn't afford daycare. I had no one to look after the girls. So I had to kind of come up with different business ideas and bring the kids along with me. So I had a marketing company, I had an asbestos company, and a few did okay, and a few others were complete failures. But what's funny is those failures are what allowed Queen of Bud to become successful, because I had already overcome those challenges. If I had made those same mistakes with Queen of Bud, it would have been a disaster. So I'm actually very grateful for everything in the past. I feel that every time I was being rejected and I started to get emotional, I tried to calm myself down, because I think I was just being redirected to what I was truly manifesting and what my purpose is. So I think what we'll do is we'll go in with the slide now, and I can begin to talk about cannabis a little bit more. So changing the conversation around cannabis. Something about Queen of Bud, aesthetically, it doesn't really look like a cannabis store. That was what I loved about the design. When I went to a dispensary in the US, they kind of were making fun of me when I came in. I knew a lot about cannabis, and they kind of made me feel like I didn't belong. They made comments that your teeth are too white, and like I kind of got annoyed by that, and I felt that it was disrespectful to cannabis and disrespectful to such a beautiful plant, because there shouldn't be a stigma around cannabis, and there shouldn't be anyone saying that you don't look like a typical stoner. What does a stoner look like? I am a stoner. So I think that it's really important to break the stigma around cannabis. And that's what I'm trying to do with Queen of Bud. I'm really trying to bring some beauty and elegance to it, because these plants are beautiful. And actually, kind of an interesting fact is that the female plants are the ones that produce the bud. We just use the males to fertilize, but the females are the ones that produce the bud. So I felt that it was very important that a female get into this industry. And next slide. So just understanding the basics. So there's a few different ways that cannabis comes. So I'll get into the flower side of things, but I'm just going to actually bring up here. So on any cannabis package, you will see that it'll have CBD. This is 0 milligrams of CBD. So this is not going to be a good one if you're trying to decrease pain or inflammation. This is 10 milligrams of THC. So this is just to get you high. And to explain the difference between the two, so CBD is going to help with the medical side of things. And THC is the part that's going to get you high. So when you're looking at finding cannabis products, I would start with more CBD. That's what I did. I kind of started with CBD, and then I worked my way into the THC, because if you take too much at once, you're not going to like it. You might get a little bit paranoid. So you obviously don't want that to be your first experience with it. Finding what's right for you. If you don't feel comfortable smoking it, there's edibles, there's oils, there's gel capsules, there's drinks. It's endless. They have powders that you can add into your coffee and your smoothies. So it's starting to grow, the Canadian market. We saw a lot of these products on the on the California market and oh my goodness, blanking, the Colorado market, but it's interesting to see all of these SKUs getting approved by Health Canada and now getting onto the legal Canadian market. Okay. So indica, sativa, and CBD. So an indica is going to make you a little bit more tired and sleepy. A sativa is going to be your daytime. It's going to give you energy. It's going to be a bit more uplifting. It's going to be less of a head high where you can still focus. And then CBD, as I said, is going to be more for stress relief, relaxing. I've actually heard a few people, customers come in and they've been buying the CBD pre-rolls to actually quit smoking. So I found that kind of interesting. Another kind of something that not a lot of people know is when we take a strain and we test it at the lab, because on those labels I showed you, we always have to have that kind of information on the label. It's actually the terpenes that determine how a strain is going to make you feel. So we can tell by the terpenes if it is more of a sativa or an indica, or how the high is going to be. How to choose. I think it just depends. What do you want to do with the day? That's something that you should always ask the bud tender as well, is if you're going to be going on a hike, tell them, if you're going to be doing yoga, if you're going out with friends, and they can tailor a strain specifically for that activity that you're doing. So that's something that's really cool about cannabis as well. Next slide. So the dried flower formats are pre-rolls. So we have a 0.35 gram joint. We found that those have been coming in 10 packs because then it makes up 3.5 grams, which is an eighth, which is a common format to see. And then you see the 0.5 grams and 1 gram. So I'm just going to hold this up. This is a 0.5 grams. So this is a 0.5 gram joint that I have here. We used to see 1 gram joints at the retail stores, but we found that a lot of people wouldn't smoke a full 1 gram. And once you put your joint out and then relight it, it kind of just doesn't taste the same. So a lot of customers actually phased out that category, and everyone has moved to either 0.5 grams or the 0.35 gram format. Which now we're seeing, before, it's so funny, we used to only see 2 packs of 0.5 grams. Now there's 3 packs, 5 packs, 10 packs. I've heard of a few LPs coming out with a 15 pack. So you're seeing that those bulk formats are selling a little bit better when it comes to pre-rolls. And then we have the dried flower. So 1 grams, 3.5 grams, 7 grams, 14 grams, and 28 grams. And then you also have milled product. So 1 gram will last you about 2 or 3 joints. So 1 grams are great if you just kind of want to try out a strain that you haven't tried before, experiment with it. 3.5 grams is if you're willing to commit, you're going to use it that entire week. 7 and 14 grams haven't been selling as well. The 28 grams have been selling like crazy. People love those large formats, and now you can get a 28 gram bag for $100. So it's getting very competitively priced. I personally don't buy those 28 gram bags because I find that the cannabis is just low quality inside. And once you do open it up, make sure that you transfer it into a properly sealed container so that it doesn't dry up, because if it's going to be sitting there for a few weeks, then you don't want it to get dry, or else it's going to not be a great experience. We're seeing great quality now in the 3.5 gram form. I would rather smoke a joint that is flavorful and smooth, that you don't want to cough when you smoke it. The ashes, you want to look at the ash color. Are the ashes white? Because then that means it's a very clean strain. The LP did a good job at flushing it. And then if it's black and kind of dark gray, then that's not the greatest quality. And you'll probably feel it when you smoke it as well. So I'm all about quality over quantity, but there definitely is a market for large quantities. Next slide. Storage, dark place, glass jars or vacuum seal, right size container. So when we were launching the Queen of Bud 3.5 grams, we launched it in little Broken Coast containers. And if you don't know what that is, it's a very, very tiny container where the bud is exactly at the top. Like, it was difficult to actually get the lids on. But the reason being is you don't want that cannabis to shake around. If it shakes around, then what's going to happen is you're going to lose all of the crystals on it, and it's going to break up, and you want that customer to open it and for it to be one big nug, because instantly you're going to stand out on the market, because not a lot of LPs can achieve that. So right size container is huge. It also has less space for air, so it won't dry out. Keep dried flower separate. Do not use a tobacco humidor. The reason being is the wood that they use for that, I guess, can have an effect on the cannabis and rob it of its terpenes, and it's just not the greatest thing. At the cannabis stores, we have specific humidors for cannabis, so I'd recommend picking up one of those if that's what you're looking to store it in. And then obviously keep out of reach and hidden from children and pets. The last thing you want is for your dog to eat a bunch of weed and trip out. But so, okay. Why is the quality important when deciding what to purchase? So we kind of just talked about it. You want to look for a few things when you're looking at quality. When I open up a container, I want to be able to smell the cannabis. It should instantly have a nice, strong aroma to it. The second thing is the density of the nug. You want to take that nug and almost squish it in your fingers. If it completely crumbles apart and falls into dust, then that is not great quality. If it's nice and sticky and you can almost push it all the way together and it foams back out, then you know that it's at the proper humidity, and it's a good quality strain. And then the fourth thing would be, you can see the crystals on it and all of the terpenes. So if it's super crystally, I don't even know if that's a word, but then you know that everything's still intact. Something that not a lot of people know is if you find a nug and it's really round and it's perfect almost, then that means that it went through a machine. And when it goes through a machine, when it's trimmed, then that means that it loses a lot of the THC and a lot of the terpenes. So it's bad. If you see a nug and it kind of has edges and it's kind of a unique shape, then that means it was hand trimmed, which is just a gentle process where it's not going to pull anything off of that bud. So it'll still be intact. And I think, yeah, next slide. So cannabinoids, chemical compounds, secreted by cannabis flowers that interacts with our endocannabinoid system, causing the effects we feel after consumption, etc. THC and CBD, which we kind of already got into the difference between the two. Terpenes, aromatic oils that provide the distinctive flavors and aromas within the different cannabis varieties. So terpenes are like the flavor of lemon. Are you adding fruit into it? Oranges, and it kind of gives it that flavor. And as I said, it also helps determine the high. Next slide. Terpenes. Every strain has a unique terpene type and composition, key role to differentiating the effects of various cannabis strains, 8 most commonly found terpenes. So these are the most common found terpenes. Something interesting, we just launched Garlic Kush, which is shungite, that's for gratitude. And we sent it to a terpene lab and they test for over 200 different terpenes and it came out at 6%. So most LPs are trying to aim to get terpenes around 1.5, you know, and it's difficult for them. So 6% is absolutely phenomenal. And when we sent it into our regular lab so that we can keep things consistent for our customers, it came in at 3.6. So still very high terpenes for that strain. But I actually wasn't even aware how many different terpenes there actually is because majority of the large labs only test for these 5 that you see here. Steps to getting the best quality products for your needs. So as I said, never be afraid to ask your bud tender. Give them as much information as you possibly can. Are you using it for pain? Are you just wanting to get high? Where do you like your THC levels? Do you like more of a balance where it's kind of a mix between CBD and THC? Or do you like high THC where it has to be 25%? Do you like sativa, indica? Give them all of those details, and then the more information that you're willing to give the bud tender, then the better chance you have at getting a product that's tailored to exactly what you want. Bonus, ask which product. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know. I think just be honest and be open. And the best thing about the cannabis industry is all of us just want to spread love and we just want to make the world a better place. And we love talking to people. We feed off other people's energy. So never be afraid to go in a cannabis store and just tell them exactly what you're looking for and ask as many questions as you want. I've had people stay in the cannabis store for an hour and a half, 2 hours asking me questions before they made a purchase. And that is totally okay to do. So don't be shy. Next slide. So we kind of already chatted about this, where does it clean burn, density, pungency when you open it up, how does it smell, visual terpene check, and then that squish test that we kind of talked about for the moisture content. Oils, extracts, and edibles, different formats. So there's, as I said, there's vapes, which people like because they're very convenient. They don't smell. You can be quite discreet, go into the bathroom and take a quick puff and no one will know when you come out of the bathroom. That's why people enjoy them, because they can have them during the day and no one really notices. Oils, there's your typical oil with a dropper. A 1 ml dropper is most common. And CBD, you can get THC. There's a whole variety of different capsules and different oils that have part THC, part CBD. They have everything that you can imagine, so you can pick exactly what works for you. Extracts, there's now shatter and resin and tons of different extracts that have now been coming on the market. Diamonds are kind of cool. They actually look like a real diamond, and you can chop it up and you can put it into certain vapes, or you can also put it into a dab rig. Dabs are quite hardcore, I would say. You put one little piece into a dab rig and you're good for a few hours. I love them. It's just such a nice high. That's the other kind of interesting part, is that depending on whether it's an oil, extract, edible, or you're just smoking a joint, it's a different high. So that's kind of interesting as well. Depends on how you want to feel. Dosing. Start off low. I have overdone edibles about 20 to 30 times, and it's not fun. Like, it's not horrible, but it's not fun. You get a little bit anxious, you trip out a bit, you're like, what is going on? Edibles are amazing, but if you overdo it, they can be a little bit much and it can be a bit scary. So I would suggest starting off with 2.5 milligrams. It's a very low dose. They come in capsules, they come in chocolates where you can break off a small piece of that 2.5. Give that a go, see how you feel. For me, I don't feel anything at all unless it's over 10 milligrams. So as I said, that 2.5 is a nice small dose to start with, and then work your way up and just see what works for you and what the perfect amount is. Edibles do take a little bit of time to kick in. I've had edibles where I'm like, I don't feel anything. And then 3 hours later, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is intense. So just take your time. When you smoke a joint, it hits you instantly, but when you take edibles, it's a different delivery method. So it does take a little bit more time. So keep that in mind. If it doesn't work within the first 20 minutes, maybe don't take more yet. Remember that different formats take longer to show up. So we kind of just already discussed that. So what to do if you've overconsumed? First step, orange juice and water is always amazing. It can help bring you down. Try to remain calm. Cannabis is a mental thing. So if you stress yourself out and start to think negative thoughts, then you're just gonna go to a place that you don't need to go. Just try and relax. Watch a movie, give it a little bit of time. Usually if you smoke a joint, you are kind of that super high point for about half an hour to an hour, and then it does calm down. So unfortunately, you're gonna have to just ride it out a little bit, but you just don't stress. A lot of customers have come in and they said, oh, I'm kind of nervous. I've only ever done CBD. I don't want to try THC because last time I tried it, I got super paranoid and I hated it. But I always say to those customers, have you ever smoked cannabis and gone and meditated? Because that is what it's for. Our slogan at Queen of Bud Cannabis is discover cannabis, discover yourself. Take that time when you smoke weed to meditate and be alone and be present and discover something new about yourself. That's why I love cannabis, is because I feel like I'm evolving at a rapid rate because it's constantly making me reflect on myself, my life, my actions, and more importantly, my thoughts that lead to the decisions that I make. Next slide. Anxiety in cannabis. So for anxiety, I would recommend starting off with CBD. As I said, once you get into THC, it can make you feel a little bit anxious. For me, I love high THC for anxiety because it just chills me out, but I definitely wouldn't recommend starting that way. You take some CBD, it's like taking a Tylenol. You're not going to feel high. You're not going to trip out or have to worry. So just kind of start off with that, but it has been proven to really help people with anxiety. Sex and cannabis. So I mentioned that I had or have endometriosis. So sex for me was very painful, very, very painful. Even after my hysterectomy, it still was very painful. I actually didn't start enjoying it until I started using cannabis because it just took my pain away and I could finally enjoy it. We recently got in Sex Pot by Latitude, which is a pre-lube with CBD in it. And so what's interesting is you put it on and you wait about 15 to 20 minutes before you have intercourse. And then at that 20-minute mark, it kind of numbs the area and it increases your sensitivity. So yeah, it will feel quite nice. And what I prefer for consumption methods, well, at least my preference, is edibles. I find that the high on edibles is very, when you smoke a joint, sometimes you just want to eat some food and chill, unless it's a high THCV strain, which actually suppresses your appetite and increases your metabolism. But you don't really want to smoke a joint and then try and perform a workout. So I would recommend edibles are awesome because they keep your mind clear, and it's more of a body kind of high, and it just relaxes you so that you can really get into it and be present and kind of block out those other thoughts that might be distracting you in the moment. Cannabis and spirituality. So we kind of already touched on this a little bit when I talked about why we attach a crystal to the different strains. And then we also attach an energy with that crystal. So as I said, shungite is for gratitude, rose quartz is for love, blue topaz is for wisdom. And when you smoke these different cultivars, you're supposed to kind of take time to focus on that energy. So if you smoke rose quartz, then I want you to take, half an hour and spend it thinking of all of the ways that you love yourself, thinking of how you can love others a bit more, and just focusing on the beauty around us. I truly believe that everything in this universe is connected: people, plants, animals, and the universal language that binds all of creation is love. So through our cannabis, I really do want to spread some good messaging and some spirituality, and just show people how to just be comfortable in their own skin and just do whatever is your passion. When you completely lose sense of time and everything around you, and it doesn't even feel like work. I want everyone to begin enjoying this experience again that we call life. So cannabis has changed my life, not just physically, but spiritually. It opened up my heart to new possibilities and discover things that I never knew about myself. Cannabis allowed me to find my authentic self, which then allowed me to figure out my passion and my purpose. Next slide. And the end.
We're going to take some questions. Rob, if you want to bring myself and Ashley up. Jana and Carla, if you guys can kind of watch the feed for some other questions that come up, I think that'd be super helpful. I've seen there's lots kind of that have gone through. Ashley, what is if you have somebody that's coming in and looking for pain and they don't want to start in the low THC and kind of work their way up, for that kind of just typical, somebody has physical pain of some sort, what's the sort of happy medium that's going to help them right away maybe? Or what's the typical recommendation for anything that's physically painful, whether it's endometriosis or back pain or whatever?
Yeah, so what I would recommend for that is just your highest CBD oil that particular dispensary carries. I would look for something that's 25 milligrams of CBD at least per dose. And then I would also pick up a topical. So there's amazing topicals that I actually buy for my grandpa who has arthritis, and he just puts that on his knees, on his gout, and it's absolutely phenomenal for pain. So anytime I'm severely in pain, my go-to is a topical and a high CBD oil.
Awesome. Somebody else was asking, I know I had mentioned this to you in the story yesterday too, about somebody was asking about what's safe for breastfeeding. So, and somebody had asked, what are you guys legally allowed to recommend or say to customers in the store so they know what they can ask you versus what they can wait for their doctor to answer, I guess?
Yeah, so we're very limited in store when it comes to the medical side of things, especially such a sensitive topic. I wouldn't be able to comment on, but I would ask your doctor or even go online and do your own research and just figure out what you feel comfortable with and what you feel is right for you. And just do that and don't, yeah.
Somebody else is asking about interactions with with any antidepressants or anti-anxiety. Is that again a question for the doctor, or do you have a
Yeah, again, I would ask your physician because I'm not too familiar with the different prescriptions. They would be able to tell you whether you can mix it with cannabis or not.
is there a brand of topical that you recommend for people that aren't maybe in Calgary or?
You know, there's a few really good ones out, and to be honest, I like all of them the same. They're pretty similar, so, and they're a similar price point, so I think any topical that any of the dispensaries are carrying now would be fine. And most dispensaries, or at least we do, that if you try something and you absolutely hate it, just like Sephora, you can bring it back and we can exchange it for something that actually works for you. I decided to come up with that when and we were one of the first stores to do it because I loved Sephora for that, and cannabis is so specific to that person that if they absolutely hate it, I mean, they should be able to return it. And there's no way that they can see quality either because of the regulations. So
Somebody's asking about dry mouth.
I know, I have it right now. I ate some edibles earlier and like, whew, they like haven't gone away yet. But dry mouth, it happens. Just gotta drink some water and put
Okay, what about
stuff on.
What's your thought on freezing in terms of storage?
Pardon?
Freezing any product?
Yeah, I used to freeze my cannabis. Now I just don't need to because I find I smoke so much of it that like I don't really store that much. But yeah, you can definitely store it in the freezer if you want. I found it dried out my cannabis a little bit and changed the moisture content. So, but give it a try and see.
And then what are the exact Queen of Bud products that you have in store that are your own? Somebody was asking what was yours versus stuff that you bring in from other producers.
Yeah, so we don't bring anything in. Well, not often for our partners. We bring in stuff from other producers, but Queen of Bud is all grown in-house. And we have the Blue Topaz Slurricane. We have the Queen of Bud Blue Topaz California. We have the Rosetta Stone, which is a new cultivar to the Canadian, the legal Canadian markets. I'm very excited about that one, and that's our rose quartz. And then we have Shungite. That's a garlic kush, which again is one of the first to the Canadian market. And the California and the Shungite are sitting at 26% THC, so high THC, high terps. That Slurricane is sitting at 20% THC. And the Rosetta Stone, that is a sativa, and sativas are a little bit more difficult to get to that higher THC versus indicas. That one's sitting at 17% THC.
Awesome. I think we've kind of tackled. I'm seeing if there's any other questions coming up. So I'm going to quickly jump in and just do a wrap up with everybody. If you want to bring everybody back on screen, Rob. Is Stobo still around? Where'd Stobo go? Got everybody up? Yeah. Awesome. I just want to do a quick thank you to Team Hoo-Ha. Carla, J9, Stobo, our regular team. Thanks, Rob and Amy. Thank you, Ashley, for taking the stage tonight. I know everybody's super inspired by your story and really grateful for this important education because a lot of us don't know jack shit. And then end up lost in the forest at summer camp and become my problem. So this is really a valuable camp for many, many reasons. So thank you to Team Hoo-Ha. a couple of quick kind of pieces of information before we say goodbye. Our next event, we're actually going to double up in March. We have normally been only doing one event a month, but we're doing 2 this month. So we have home organization on March 24th. So I will post details for you campers tomorrow so you can get signed up for our next camp. We're also in the hunt. We're starting to plan for our fall Camp Hoo-Ha expansion plans. So if any of you out there are like, this is super awesome, I wish I could hoo-ha in my hometown or city, you can. So if you just email me, we can tell you about our camp director program, and we're trying to create something really flexible so that if you're in a small town or a big city, you can hoo-ha with small groups or bigger groups. So buy your badge, get your underperformance wear in the store. Enter the contest. You can win the Queen of Bud gift certificate. So please check out Queen of Bud and like them on Instagram or Facebook. Tag us and post a beautiful picture of your face. So yeah, I'm going to kind of see, Ashley, do you want to stick around for a couple of minutes and take any last minute questions that happen to come in?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's it. Is anybody else? Oh, Ashley's smoking. I love it.
Yeah.
Actually, somebody was asking about like getting a headache after you have.
Oh my God.
Can you answer that? Is that normal to have like a pounding headache after?
After you smoke cannabis or after you consume cannabis?
Yeah.
Yeah. So absolutely, just drink water. Sometimes you might get a little bit dehydrated. So if you do get a headache, just try and drink lots and lots of water and just see if that helps. And then maybe just switch the strain. Sometimes I get a headache as well from certain strains. Again, that can also be if they didn't flush the product properly. That's like why you want to focus on quality as well. But yeah, I would either switch the strain or just try and drink some water.
Thank you.
And for those
Or
of you,
take a little bit of CBD oil with it, because CBD oil can also help with headaches. So maybe just take a little drop of CBD and see if that helps.
and if you're still on, is J9 still on screen? You can see J9's virtual background is her freshly printed divorce certificate. March 2021. This is where we're at.
Yeah.
Love it. Any other details, Ashley, about the store? Campers are just asking about online shipping, pickup. Maybe just tell them a bit more about how they can shop with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So in Toronto, it is click and collect. So you can pay online and come and pick it up in store. In Alberta, we are not allowed to do any kind of online payments or curbside pickup. So you will have to come in store, but you can go to our website at www.queenofbud.ca and you can see our full menu and reserve products so that a ticket comes through to us and you can literally just walk in the store, show your ID, pay, and your bag will be ready to go. You can also follow us. I think we gave the Instagram accounts, but if you also want to follow my account at Ashley Newman Official, I would absolutely love that.
Okay, 2 more questions. Is there a low sugar keto edible, or what's the sugar content?
Yeah, there definitely is. The sugar content is pretty low in most of them because it was a Health Canada requirement. So if you wanted to bring edibles to market, the tolerance for sugar is very minimal.
And my mom wants to know.
Until you eat all the mini eggs in the house, right, Jana and Maya and Robin, if you guys are watching, the sugar content is low until you eat an entire bag of mini eggs.
There's not ketosis anymore. There's no ketosis. Okay, my mom wants to know because my mom gets edibles, baked goods shipped from BC to her. Yeah. In a giant Tupperware. We get like butter tart edibles. You know, you're a good Ukrainian when you're getting butter tarts laced with THC. Anyway, she's wondering if there's a difference in terms of like store-bought edibles versus like the ones she's getting shipped from?
Oh, 100%. And it's because Health Canada put the rule on that you're only allowed per pack 10 milligrams. So those brownies or butter tarts, whatever she's getting, I assume they probably have 200 milligrams per butter tart. So you eat one little piece of that and you're good. So there's a difference in how strong they are, absolutely. And there's also a massive price difference. You can, edibles in store, they are getting cheaper and cheaper now, but still not even close. You can buy a brownie for $20 that's 200 milligrams, and you come in store and you buy 2 chocolates for that. So
my Sasky campers are jealous about the butter tart edibles. I'll have to follow up.
I'm jealous too. You got to get me some of those.
Okay, campers want to know where your lipstick is from.
Your lipstick. Ashley, we all agree that you're the most beautiful human being we've ever seen. You're fucking intelligent. You're like smart. You're confident.
The lipstick is from the lipstick's from Sephora. It's their lip stain. And then I added the Sephora lip plump just on top.
What's the color though?
Hold on, let me find out.
Okay.
Uno momento.
Look us up.
We'll have to post tomorrow.
Oh my God, the suspense is killing me.
There we go. Hold on, guys. So this one is number 72. Yeah, it doesn't give a color. I don't know. It just says number 72 for the lip stain. It's just like a nude. And then this is the Sephora lip plump, and it's in the color Outrageous.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, I think we're gonna wrap this thing up. That was amazing, brilliant. You're a camper forever now. We're gonna just show up at your store every week.
Yeah.
Well, we need to do an actual camp where we just bring tons of goodies for everyone on a lake. It'd be amazing. Girls' weekend.
Gummies for everyone.
This is on your insurance plan. I'm down. Let's do it.
Just as I said that, one of my kids walked in the kitchen. Just kidding. I would never, ever.
All right, campers, have a fantastic night. Many of you guys are still hanging around, so have a good couple weeks. I feel like there's some momentum, good weather, positive vibes coming our way, whether that's through our own good habits or some more cannabis and whatever we do. I think things are turning around for us. So I am excited to watch this good stuff unfold, be part of it, and keep having camp over the next couple months till we can get back down to regular camp business. So have a good night. Thank you, team. And we'll hoo-ha on March 24th. Buy your badges, campers. Have a good night.
Bye, everybody.
Every camp has a theme song that requires you sing along. The more we keep on drinking, the better we'll start singing. If you like to drink, wanna learn to fix your sink,
Seems like a functional thing.
wanna earn some badges and unite with other badges. Let's make a place that we belong. Sing the campfire hoo-ha song.
We're going to camp.
Hoo-ha, hoo-ha, hoo-ha. Yeah! Gonna camp hoo-ha, hoo-ha, hoo-ha. Yeah! Gonna camp hoo-ha, hoo-ha, hoo-ha. Yeah! Gonna camp hoo-ha, hoo-ha.
Who are you? Are?
You want the fun that camp brings,
I do.
but you really fucking hate camping.
I do.
Can make a craft or have a beer.
Craft beer.
You'll learn some useful shit here. That's what I hear anyway. Let's make a place that we belong and join the campfire hoo-ha song.
You were right. That's funny.